Protective Recitals. King Milinda said, revered Nagasena, this too was said by the Blessed One. Not in the sky, not in the ocean's midst, not in the most secluded mountain cleft, not in the whole wide world is found the spot where standing one can escape the snare of death. On the other hand, protective recitals were promulgated by the Blessed One. That is to say, Ratana Sutta, the Kanda Paritta, the Mora Paritta, the Dajaka Paritta, the Atanati Paritta, and the Angulimala Paritta. If revered Nagasena, one cannot escape death either in the sky or in the mid-ocean or in a mountain cleft or anywhere in the whole wide world, then protective recitals are useless. But if by protective recitals one can find an escape from death, then the statement in the verse I quoted is false. This too is a double-pronged question, more knotty than a knot. It is now put to you, and you have to solve it. The Blessed One Sire said the verse you have quoted, and protective recitals were promulgated by him. But that is for those who still have some term of life remaining, who are full of age and who are free from an obstruction due to karma. There is no ceremony or means to prolong the life of one whose span of existence is coming to an end. Sire, even if 1,000 jars of water were poured over a dead and a dried up tree, sapless, moistureless and lifeless, that tree will never become fresh again and put forth sprouts and leaves. Even so, Sire, there is no ceremony or means, no medicine and no protective recital to prolong the life of one whose span of existence is coming to an end. But Sire, protective recitals are a protection and assistance to those who have a period yet to live, who are full of life and are free from an obstruction due to karma. As Sire, a farmer guards the grain when it is ripe and ready for harvesting by preventing water from entering among the corn, but makes it grow by giving it water, then the corn is young and full of life. Even so, Sire, protective recitals should be put aside in the case of one whose span of existence is coming to an end. But for those who have a period of life remaining and are in their prime, protective recitals are like medicines and may be chanted with benefit. If revered Nagasena, one whose span of existence is coming to an end, dies, and if one who has a period of life yet remaining lives, well then protective recitals are useless. Have you, Sire, ever seen a disease being turned back by medicines? Yes, revered Sire, several hundred times. Well then, Sire, to say that protective recitals are useless is a false statement. Revered Nagasena, I have seen doctors administer medicines by means of beverages and external applications, as a result of which disease have been assuaged. And Sire, when the sound of protective recitals is heard, all the illnesses abate at the recitation, all calamities disappear, though the tongue had been dry, the heart beating but feebly, and the throat sore. Have you, Sire, ever seen anyone bitten by a snake, having the poison sucked back by that snake by means of an incantation? Yes, revered Sir, even today that practice exists in the world. Well then, Sire, to say that protective recitals are useless is a false statement. When a protective recital has been said, a snake ready to bite will not bite, but close its jaws. The club which robbers hold aloft to strike will never strike. An enraged elephant rushing up will suddenly stop. A great blazing mass of fire that is surging towards one will die out. A deadly poison one has eaten turns into an antidote or serves as food. Assassins who have come to kill will turn into slaves. The trap into which one has trodden will not hold him. Nagasena. Do protective recitals protect everyone? They protect some, sire, some they do not protect. Well then, revered Nagasena, the protective recital is not always useful. Now, sire, does food preserve everyone's life? It preserves some, revered sir. Some it does not preserve. Well then, sire, food does not preserve everyone's life. There are two reasons, revered Nagasena, why food destroys life. Because too much is eaten or because of bad digestion. Even life-giving food can destroy life because of bad digestion. In the same way, sire, protective recital protects some it does not protect. There are three reasons, sire, why protective recital does not protect. Because of an obstruction due to karma, because of an obstruction due to defilements, because of lack of faith. A protective recital, sire, that is protection to beings, may lose its protecting power because of acts done by those beings themselves. It is, sire, as a mother nourishes the child in her womb, brings it forth with gentle care, and giving bright it forth and cleansed it of its impurities, stains and mucus, then anoints it with the best and most beautiful perfumes. And if others abuse it or strike it, then dragging them along full of excitement, she brings them before her husband. But if her child is naughty or comes in late, then she strikes him with her fists or a stick. Now would his mother, sire, get seized and be dragged along and made to appear before her husband? No, revered sir. Why not, sire? Because it was the child's own fault, revered sir. Even so, sire, it is through his own fault that a person makes barren a protective recital that has protective power for beings. It is good, revered Nagasena. The question has been well analyzed. The thicket made clear, the darkness made light, and the net of speculative views disentangled, thanks to you, a most excellent teacher.